You know, one of the tragic outcomes of this war is that the Iraqis who stood with America, the interpreters, embassy workers, subcontractors, are being targeted for assassination.
Obama was the first presidential candidate that spoke directly on this issue.
And yet our doors are shut. In April, we admitted exactly one Iraqi refugee. Just one. That's not how we treat our friends.
He's hitting the issue right on the mark. Someone has to lead on this issue and say we have to help these people.
Diplomacy and assistance is also required to help millions of displaced Iraqis. America has a strategic interest and a moral responsibility to act.
That's what's so maddening about all this. None of that has happened with his administration on this issue. The process now by which an Iraqi that worked for the United States can get help is about as bad as I've seen it since the earliest days of this whole crisis. And it still is a crisis. This is typical. They show the badge. And there's an assassination. These Iraqis are not dying for Iraq. They're dying because they're coming to work for our country. They're dying for America. This most recent case that I've been working on, you cannot look at these emails and not feel outraged. In his initial application, he submitted all of these recommendation letters and certificates of appreciation from his American employers. A few months passed and he gets an email back from the US government saying, "We don't know who you are, you have to verify that you worked for us." So he gives them the name of his American boss. Instantly, this American employer verifies this guy and says, yes, he needs help. He was a great worker for us. You just see this train wreck coming. He was saying explicitly, they're going to kill me. And then in June, he had just finished dinner with his wife and his 5-year-old son. He told his wife he just needed to step out, and then a couple hours later, she saw on the news that a decapitated body had been found in their neighborhood. When they wrote back to the State Department to inform them that this guy was dead, they got an auto reply that said, "We can't verify his employment." This guy did not have to die, but the system failed him. And now we're trying to help this widow and little boy out on a dead man's application. And I don't know that it's gonna work. This was a genuine recognition by both parties that we needed to help the Iraqis who stood by us. But because neither President Bush nor Obama really led on this, that congressional intent has basically been stymied or ignored or just fizzled off, you know? Why, after our work, which has mobilized tens of thousands of pro bono hours from the nation's top law firms, are only a few hundred out of the 19,000 Iraqis admitted to the U.S. last year from my list? I wake up each morning struggling to make sense of this.
One of the fears that many people have that they will not express is if you bring in a significant number of Iraqis, you're going to bring in someone like the persons who did the dirty deed on September the 11th. That's in the room.
If we come to see these people as terrorists, I don't know what left there is to protect against terrorists. I think we risk losing the war on terror. The only person that you can really point a finger at is the president. You look at every example of when we've brought over a large number of refugees in our nation's past after wars, and it doesn't happen unless the American president is invested in it. We're a superpower. We have to be better than we're being right now.